Gold continues to rip higher. We're now over $4,065 an ounce at the time that I'm recording this right now. Absolutely ripping this morning, and it has been for a hot minute. Now, is that a good thing? I don't know. According to Yahoo Finance, this is the debasement trade that's going on. So let's jump into gold and see what's going on right now. Let's see. Do a couple clicks over here. Clicks over here. All right. So a lot of people would say that gold is a safe haven asset, right? And that safe haven asset really started to pick up around August 26th or so, right? The 10 went over the 20, price went over the 50, and it has just been running. Now, I've traded gold many times in the past, and I've gotten stomped many, many times, right? I don't know if you've had the same situation, but when I've traded gold in the past, it would break out and then come crashing back down over and over and over, like it did for several months here earlier this year. But now this is a new paradigm. Like things are actually changing here on gold. And OVTLYR gave a buy signal on August 26th, which is actually exactly the date that I just mentioned a moment ago. On August 26th, OVTLYR had that buy signal come through on GLD, the gold ETF, and it's been climbing ever since. In fact, gold of all assets is up how much since that date? 18%. Gold is just ripping, roaring higher this morning. Let me know in the chat. Are you trading gold these days? I know one of our OVTLYR University graduates, Ozzy Ian, ESLV, or is it SI? He is just killing it in his silver trade. He said he's rolled it 6 times now, I believe. Huge move up in the metals. What does that mean, right? Tell me in the chat. What do you feel like that means? Let's watch this. Gold climbs over $4,000. Silver and Bitcoin surge as the debasement trade flight to safe havens continues.
Ray, join us now with the very latest. Nez.
Josh, gold is up more than 50% year to date, and the World Gold Council said that in September you saw record inflows into gold-backed ETFs, making a record for the quarter as well, with $26 billion in those gold-backed ETFs, led by North American investors, followed by European funds, followed by Asian funds. So all of this.
It sounds like several of you guys were what she's talking about here. Like Scott rolled GLD for the 4th time. Michael Podinsky got leaps on our GLD. Let's see. Corey Barrick is also good for gold. Dr. J, this is 6th roll of GLD. You guys are absolutely killing it. Steve's rolled gold 3 times. Now, rolling GLD, rolling gold, rolling whatever means that you are taking your profits, keeping the trade on, and allowing it to continue to work, right? You take in partial profits, you keep the trade alive, and you can trade with those partial profits on anything else. And so we have had some very successful OVTLYRs who are doing really, really well with that. And by the way, you can get access to the platform for just 82 cents a day. Let's continue here.
This amid a weaker dollar, Fed easing expectations, geopolitical risks. That's what's been driving the price of gold higher over the last couple of months. And Wall Street is still bullish despite this big run up, because you do have strategists that have been calling for 4,000 by mid 2026. So quite a bit ahead of time. But you do have some bull case scenarios talking about gold hitting 5,000 by the end of next year. Now, having said that, there are quite a bit of strategists that have also been talking about the fact that it has run up very quickly in a short amount of time. If you were to see a pullback in the markets, you could see margin calling, you could see some selling off. And of course, if the dollar reverses course and goes materially higher, then you would see gold selling off in that scenario as well.
And Inez, while we have you, my friend, what about digital gold, Bitcoin?
Yeah, Bitcoin coming off of its all-time high from yesterday, and quite a tumble today. You saw Bitcoin down about 3% after going north of 125,000. It's north of 121,000 per token. Today's move may be some profit taking, because you have seen Bitcoin doing a big run up really since the beginning of October. October being seasonally its strongest month. September wasn't too bad. It actually ended positive in September, but this is a month where it should be seeing some seasonal tailwinds. And we did see Bitcoin going up quite a bit over the last several sessions.
All right. So back into GLD, Thomas was talking about how he's going to be cost-free in GLD today after rolling. I want everybody to congratulate Thomas in the chat by typing Thomas. Congratulations to you, Thomas. Outstanding work, right? So looking at this, he's going to be cost free, meaning that he rolled it, took in credit, rolled it, took in credit, rolled it, took in credit, all at the same time, maintaining a long position in GLD, rolling it, rolling it, rolling it, allowing the trade to work for him, taking partial profits off the table and watching it run. So congratulations to you, Thomas, and everybody else who's rolling as well. So GLD is absolutely killing it. Let's go into the OVTLYR dashboard on GLD. You'll notice that it's getting more and more bullish on the fear and greed heat map here. And this is what we want to see, right? If we see a stock rising, the trend rising, but we don't have the greed rising, I would consider that a weak trend, but that's not what we have here. In fact, when we got that buy signal, gold was down at 50.77 between 0 and 100, and it has run hard and fast. Now it's at 91 on the fear and greed scale. Now, that does give me a little bit of concern. Because we can see many times, even if I zoom out, I have not prepared this ahead of time. Anytime that it gets really high, there is a likelihood of a snapback, right? We kind of saw that happen in when was this? April. It came up and then it snapped back and went sideways for months, right? And that's when you can see right here the trend was still bullish, but the fear and greed was going down. And that April right here was when it started to go sideways, right? It still had some bullish trends here and there, but the greed value was waning. The greed value was coming down. So just be careful if you are long gold. Start taking those profits on the way up because it's a very possible likelihood that it could snap back. A very possible likelihood that it could snap back. But for now, you've still got the trend, the signal, the fear and greed, and there are no outlier blocks in the way because there's nobody up ahead who owns any sort of gold looking at this saying, you know what, once I get back to break even, I'm out. There's nobody up there. All-time highs are bullish AF, and gold is showing exactly what it looks like when all-time highs are bullish AF. Now let's change gears. So let's get back over into the OVTLYR trading room invitation only live stream. This is where we help you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk. And if you are watching the replay, be sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to go through plans M, A, ETF, and sit in cash and don't F up. And listen, if you want normal returns, this isn't for you. You should tune out now. But if you want outlier returns, you're in the right place. So for plans M and A, neither one of those are setting up today. And let's talk about why, right? The reason that they aren't is we need to listen to what the market is telling us, okay? We have a SPY with the bullish trend, a SPY on the buy signal, but the SPY fear and greed heat map, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the SPY fear and greed heat map. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Let's go to the S&P 500. The SPY has a green, a buy signal. The SPY has the 10 over the 20, price over the 50, bullish trend right here. The SPY heat map, 69.83, so it's under 70, 69.74. It's actually pulled down ever so slightly. So it's right underneath that 70 level. It's actually down on the day. So that's one of the reasons that I wouldn't be trading it. Full stock's breadth, however, did cross over. We do have more buy signals coming through, but it doesn't look like they're going very strong. They're actually slightly less than yesterday, which I'm not really surprised by. Like there's a lot going on under the hood. Like one thing, for example, is that we're having less uptrends and more downtrends. We can see that right here. That's not helping me. So I'm personally not going to be trading either plans M or A, honestly, because I don't have my exit signal set up here. Now, one thing that we are as outliers is we're professional fund managers. As professional fund managers, you need to understand that a fund manager doesn't FOMO into a trade. A lot of people are going to be FOMOing into trades when they hear somebody talking about AMD or when they hear somebody talking about the next Tesla or whatever, right? That is not how a professional fund manager operates. A professional fund manager has a plan like we have right here and will follow that plan exclusively and will not under any circumstance deviate from that plan. In fact, I saw one of these quotes from my friend the other day, Mark Minervini, one of my mentors. Pros focus on managing risk, implementing processes, and maintaining the discipline needed to consistently execute their plan, knowing that if they get that right, the money takes care of itself. So don't be FOMOing into anything, but do have your ears open for plan ETF. Now, yesterday, the SPY was actually set up to go long into plan ETF. The little pullback that we saw actually put the S&P 500 into the value zone. Let's see if that holds true today. But before we add any new trades, let's reduce risk by looking at our active trade exit signals. And remember, the most important part of the plan is planning on the plan, not going to plan. Okay, so we're in plan ETF right now, and I'm only in Qs, right? If I'm only in Qs, I'm only looking on the Q sell signal, the Q having a 1020 bearish cross on the daily chart, or an order block being hit. So if we go over to the Qs, you can see right now, there are no order blocks ahead because this is pushing new all-time highs right here. So that's a great start. The Qs still have a buy signal, so that's great as well. Still trending up higher. I don't see a 1020 cross. So that's it. Within 10 seconds, I can know if I need to be in the trade or out of the trade. And I'm still in the trade, and I'll remain in the trade until I have one of these exit signals hit. Now, let's go to the plan ETF entry signals, because maybe you're looking to get into plan ETF. Yesterday would have been an opportune time to get in it on the S&P side, but what about today, right? So we do have an uptrend in both the Qs and the SPY. Both the Qs and the SPY have a buy signal today. Both of them have a heat map value under 70, and it doesn't matter if it's moving up or down. As we saw a moment ago, both the SPY and the Qs are under 70. In fact, let's confirm on the Qs real quick. It is at 66.95, okay? And it is less than 2 ATRs above the 20 EMA. So the 20 EMA is on the Qs is at 597.15, and there's this really cool indicator that you can get 100% for free even if you're not an outlier. Just go into TradingView, type in OVTLYR OVTLYR value, and you'll see right here the outlier value zone. Click that, add that to your chart, and it'll highlight when the price of the stock is actually within 2 ATR values above the 20 period moving average. Now, there was a question, what is the ATR value measuring? This line down here is the measurement of the ATR values, and this shows you how volatile the stock is. And it doesn't mean that it's going to crash up or crash down. That just means over the X number of periods, how much has the average movements been? How big are those movements? And you can see if we zoom out, right, there have been times where it's super high back in April of 2025. Those average period movements were as high as $19 on the Qs. And today they're as low as $5 and change on the Qs right now. So that measurement, that value zone measurement, can change quite a bit. But as of right now, the Qs are within the value zone. The SPY is within the value zone. And give me just a moment here. I want to log into our outlier fund that we're watching, and we are paper trading it until the funds clear. But in the meantime, let's see just how well Plan ETF is doing. And do me a favor, if you are in Plan ETF, how's Plan ETF working for you? Because I can tell you one thing, it's definitely working great for me. And Plan ETF has a lot to do with what is inside here. This book I'm currently reading right now, the QQQ and TQQQ ETF Profit Machine. And actually the author of that book reached out to me. I was like, hey, can I come on your channel? And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. So we'll be talking to him for very, very soon. Joe says the Plan ETF is a money printer. Architect Ray said it's working brilliantly. Plan ETF is doing all kinds of great stuff. Matt says, I love Plan ETF. I do too, right? It allows us to make a great return with having pretty much no input on the stock, right? Just letting it work. Currently, this trade in the outlier fund is at $5,800, which, as you know, outlier costs $299 for the annual plan, or 82 cents a day. So that basically is 20 years worth of outlier in one single trade. So it seems to be paying pretty well. Now, I want to start taking a look at some of your stocks. So put a hashtag S in the chat with stocks that you currently own and you want to take a look at. Also, put in the chat where you're long from. So, for example, put hashtag S AMD and you're long from $100, whatever the case is. That's what I'd like to know so we can look at it together. Mr. Soho is up 3% in 3 days. Plan ETF has been very, very good to Mr. Plumber Fred. Dave's up over 8% on Plan ETF. Awesome. Tell you one thing, my account is up pretty much at 50% on the year so far, thanks to Plan ETF. It's really paid off. Okay, so Sylvia is in Rocket Lab, long from $3.77. Are you really long from $3.77 on Rocket Lab? RKLB. I mean, you basically bought it when it was next to free. You basically bought it when it's next to free. Now it's up at $60. So Sylvia, you got to tell me, are you actively trading this stock? Or are you just like, I'm going to own this forever? So Rocket Lab, currently sitting on a buy signal. It's got 8 out of 9 on the outlier 9. The sector, fear and greed, is going down. Let me zoom in slightly. And the sector breadth is crossed over. The stock is getting more greedy with the buy signal. So Rocket Lab pushing up another 7% today. I mean, Sylvia, if you own it for $7 or $3 and it's all the way up here, I mean, it looks like you're more of a long-term investor on this stock. So I can't really tell you what to do for a long-term investor. But if I were a short-term trader, a short-term investor, now would definitely be an opportunity to get long for it. Now could be an opportunity to get long, I should say. Yeah, it did invite Scott to be on the same time as the author of that book. We'll see. Let's see. Little Even wants to look at PCG, and long from $14. Okay, let's look at PCG. So this is in the utility sector. It's 9 of 9, has a buy signal, and he is long from what? $14. Okay, so right now it's actually looking pretty well, looking pretty good, right? The utility sector is on fire, more uptrends, not less downtrends today, but still more uptrends, getting more greedy. The sector is getting more greedy. And let's go to PCG on the chart real quick. PCG. Yeah, PCG looks glorious. This is what you're looking for, right? Your moving averages have spread apart. All is looking sharp right here. I love where it's going. Now, let's also run the screener today, see what new stocks are coming through. So we've got IonQ, XYZ. Let's look at those. We looked at AMD yesterday. Now, go ahead in the chat and put a hashtag in for new stocks you want to look at. And where's my thing at? Here, new stocks you want to look at that you don't own yet. Let's take a look at some of those. So IonQ, even though it does have the trend, the signal, the fear and greed, and it looks like it's free of outlier blocks as well, the sector, the tech sector, still isn't helping it. The tech sector has not been helping anything lately. It's been on a downtrend for a while. It has bearish breadth, meaning more and more sell signals, and it has bearish fear and greed, even though the stock is outperforming. 40% of the move is due to the market, 30% due to the sector, and only 30% due to the stock itself. Let's go over here real quick. IonQ, INOQ. Yeah, did I get that right? INOQ, IONQ, IONQ. There we go. That should do it. That looks better. Okay. So you got your 10 over 20, price over 50. All looks good. This order block right here, don't worry about that. We only care about order blocks that are at least 120 days old at this point. We've done lots of research. Like we have a whole team dedicated to specifically finding the very best trading strategy. And we've discovered that those short-term order blocks don't really make a hill of beans. So anyway, new buy signal came through on IonQ and honestly looks pretty sharp to me. Just the tech sector is not helping you out. Let's go to XYZ. That's an actual stock, if you can believe it. Also in the tech sector. And let's go to XYZ real quick. Ooh, okay. So this one is sitting right inside of an order block. Now, this order block is how old? How old is this one? Here, 76 days old. So investors who bought it back here 76 days ago, they're interested in getting out of the market, right? You've seen it twice come up to this area and get monkey hammered back down. I don't know if it's got enough buyers to really push it through, but it just might. It just might. Bill Allen wants to look at CP. He wants to look at CP. So let's go into the dashboard. Let's go to CP. And let's see. CP, with that buy signal today, it looks like it's got some outlier blocks on top of it. The sector, the industrial sector, the fear and greed is not rising just yet, but everything else is looking good except for those order blocks. Let's go look over here on the chart. Oh, it looks like Outliers picked up an order block that is not showing on TradingView. So just be careful on CP. Otherwise, you got your 10 over 20 price over 50. All's looking good. And it's coming up into earnings soon, which is great. I love trading up into earnings. Let's see. Don wants to look at NVDL. NVDL. Now, I'm giving you, oh no, do we not have all NVDL? NVDL. So we covered 2,600 of the most liquid stocks, and NVDL is not included in that list today, Don. So I'll do the best that I can here on the chart. But we are adding another 6,000 stocks and ETFs in the next couple of weeks. So be on the lookout for that. Don, if this can close over this order block right here around 95.20, if it can close over that, this looks fantastic. This looks fantastic. But keep in mind, if it can't close over that, you might have a little bit of an issue. Other than that, looks really strong, dude. Looks really, really strong. It's triple leveraged NVIDIA. Oh, okay. Hey, just, you know what? In that case, let's take a look at NVIDIA. Let's take a look at NVIDIA instead. NVDA. I did not know it was a triple leveraged NVIDIA ETF. I didn't even know about that. So we've got the sector breadth is not helping you out. Sector fear and greed not helping you out. But it does have the buy signal, and it is pushing up higher. And it's also has that order block right there. If it can close on top of it, could be looking great. Could be looking great. Let's do J and J. Now, Jamie, you know I hate the healthcare sector, but I'll still look at it for you, my friend. Now, I'm giving you all these entries. I'm giving you all these different stocks to take a look at. But if you want to make sure that your portfolio is set up in the right way, you want to be able to get access to OVTLYR for just 82 cents a day when you grab the annual pass. And that way you'll know where these exit signals are going to come from, right? Because we just got this buy signal on J and J on October 1st, and it's getting so greedy. It's up at 93 on the greed scale. It's got 9 of 9, but unless you have the OVTLYR annual pass, you may not know where to get out. Let's go look at J and J. Ooh, J and J climbing on top of 1, 2, 3, 4 stacked order blocks. J and J looks really, 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 really good to me. This is the type of stock that I'd be super interested in. You've got the more uptrends in the sector. The sector itself is getting more greedy, and this stock, even though it's super high on the greed scale, it's continuing to grow on greed. So, Jamie, this one could be fantastic. Could be absolutely amazing. Hey, Corey says OVTLYR's invaluable. I appreciate that, my friend. So listen, I want you to definitely save time, make money, and start winning with less risk. And the best way to do that is by clicking one of these two videos. And have a fantastic day. We'll talk soon.